I have an unusual story about my life, and it includes deception and a serial killer. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. You know, as you reach a certain age, you start reflecting back on different events in your life, and this one came to mind. I didn't think too much about it at the time because I was living it until now. I just realized, oh my gosh, another one of those episodes in my life. Well, I never had direct contact with the serial killer, so don't don't panic. Let me set the stage here. I'm gonna reveal some little bit of secrets you guys don't know about me, and you'll understand me a lot more. Becky, my current wife, she is actually my second wife. My first wife I married when I was in the Army. Her name was Teresa Kempfer, and we were married for a couple of years. Then we separated and ended up getting divorced. I won't go into details, you know, that's just private and personal, but the story I wanted to tell you is about the deception and the serial killer. I was working in the lumber mills, or actually it was a plywood mill at what was at the time Sun Studs and Plywood in North Bend, Oregon, which is currently occupied by the Mill Casino. My job in the mill at the time was either feeding the dryers, feeding a veneer into the dryers, or working at the other end and pulling veneer from the belt off the dryers and grading them and sorting them according to grade. Now, I lived just up the street around the corner, about 3 blocks away. There was this little theater on the bay in North Bend, Oregon, and right next door to it is this 2-story apartment. I rented a 2-bedroom flat on the top floor and made contact with my ex-wife. I was single, and so long story short, we decided to try reconciling the marriage. So she moved back in, and then when she moved back in, she brought a little boy with her, and he was about 4 years old. His name was Christopher. Blonde hair, blue eye, just a really nice little guy. I had the 2 bedrooms, so I had that second bedroom set up for him. So early on, I got a experience of playing dad, and I really liked it. That afternoon, or that evening, we went to a local restaurant, had pie and coffee, and Teresa revealed to me that this child was my child. And I got to tell you, my heart went 2 different directions simultaneously, if a heart could do that. Number one, elation is just like, I've wanted to be a dad for a long time, and she's presenting this little boy as being my son, and I'm a father, and then all these emotions go through my mind. But then these thoughts go through my mind, and I thought, oh no, that's where it bottomed out, is what if this relationship doesn't work out and she takes the kid and goes back to Salem, Oregon, where she was living. She had some roommates up there. So if this was my son, I wanted to know about him. So I asked her, well, what's his birth date? She told me the date, and I thought, doing the math in my head, and it's just like, no. That's the deception. That was wrong of her to play that trick on me. Oh boy. Because I'm a guy who's always faithful to his wife, and always desired to be married and have a family from when I was a teen. that was just nurtured in me. That's who I am. That's what I want to be. I love being a family man. I just love it. So that was the deception. Now comes the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. After about 4 weeks, I got home from work. Things were going great, I thought. And there was a car parked out at the curb, and on the back of the car was hitched a U-Haul trailer. And I thought, I walk upstairs, and there is the little boy's mother, and she was talking my ex-wife into moving back. So they ended up packing her stuff up and leaving. And that's when I told her, you know, when you leave now, I'm not going to do this again. My heart just cannot take this roller coaster ride. So they went back to Salem, and I still stayed in casual contact with Teresa over the next couple of years. This was in 1986 when this happened. But then 1992, I talked to Teresa, and the mother of the child had been murdered. She was a victim of a serial killer outside of Salem, Oregon. I'm not going to tell you guys the details about any of that or her life. You can read it on, well, it's on Google. It's on social media. The serial killer's name was Christopher, no, then the little boy's name was Christopher, but the serial killer's name was Keith Hunter Jefferson. He was a trucker, and they had confirmed that he had killed 8 women, but he claimed he had killed 185 women. So his victim was Lori Ann Petland, and she's the one that came, sat in my living room, and was my wife's roommate. My wife has since passed away, and she passed away up in Puyallup, Washington. And I've always thought of her, thought kindly of her, was fond of her, but it's just a relationship we just couldn't work out. It just was not going to work out. And then I met Becky, and our marriage has been absolute bliss ever since. That's why I keep referring to her as my blushing bride, because I could still make her blush. So that's my story and the connection with a serial killer. Yeah, they called him the Happy Face Killer because he would write notes on men's room walls and truck stops, confessing to the murders and then signing a smiley face. And there was another couple that got themselves implicated in it, but they didn't do any of the murders. It's just like, it was a weird, strange story. You guys are just going to have to go on Google and read the story. And you'll find out more details about Teresa and Lori Petland. And Christopher, don't know what happened to him. I'm sure Lori's mom raised him. But I hope he did well. Grew up into a fine young man. I think about him from time to time, and because I always remember the experience of playing daddy for about 3 weeks. That was fun. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. In my Homestead Life series, yet another story, another chapter in the adventures of my life. Yeah, I've got quite the adventures, and my family is always in awe and surprised over the stories I'm coming up with, which are all factual and true. Stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon. That'll alert you to new videos as I do upload them. Give us a thumbs up, click that share button. Sharing our videos on your social media platforms helps us a lot. We need the financial help right now. And also, be safe and always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next adventure. Oh boy, do I have adventures.